Okay, so I have this link here. If you go to this tiny.cc/KT patterns, you can have
Keanu,
a
I don't
copy.
think you're sharing the right screen.
Oh, okay.
You'll see the solo question.
All right. Let me.
I see.
Let me.
I see it. Yeah, I saw it. Price
I see
action
your
pattern.
Google Slides right now.
Yep.
You see Google Slides? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, oops. Okay.
Maybe it was a little bit lagging or something. You guys good on the price action patterns?
Yep. See it.
I spent all morning putting that matrix background. It all ties in. See. So yeah, if you go to this tiny.cc link, it'll make a copy. You will have this. So don't worry about that. But so this is not channel trading, which Champ doesn't go over that too much. But I know there's a lot of channel trading, which is very profitable, and he does a lot of the divergence trading. But this is not based on any of that. Now, when Champ was talking about Tesla is in bearish classic hidden divergence, I was like, man, everything is pointing to Tesla going up, but every stream, right? It was like weeks, bearish, but Tesla just broke out of that, and we made some good money there. So Champ did not jump into puts because he saw the bearish divergence. He had to wait for the pattern to develop and all the things he's talking about. And if somebody watched his stream, or if he would have just jumped into puts because of that hidden classic bearish divergence, he would have gotten destroyed. So as soon as it broke out of that, it ran like $400. Okay, so you have to use multiple measures here. You can't just use one. And so what I do is the bottom here, I wait for high percentage patterns to develop. And the bigger the time frame, the better, because the bigger the move. Okay, I know some people watch the 1 minute. And if you have a 1 minute bull flag, the flag probably only going to last a minute. All right, but if you're looking at the hourly, the 4 hourly, you're going to get a bigger move. All right. So, just some more information here. I'm a patterns based trader. I sit on volatile tickers and I just wait for these to develop. I do not click, what's Boeing doing? What's Disney doing? What's, Beyond doing? I just sit on Tesla, Facebook, SPY. I put Roku there because that was my old baby, but I don't really trade Roku now because it's been just falling and the spreads have been getting worse and worse as volume has come out of it. So you cannot trade things that don't have that volume, as Champ was saying, because the spreads will just kill you. You try to scalp a spread and you will get destroyed because a lot of times you have to mark it out, especially on a lotto. And good luck with that. So pretend like Roku isn't even there. All right. Now,
So liquidity.
Exactly. I love SPY. If you're new or don't know options, just erase your watch list and watch SPY. That would be my best advice because it's a $1 spread. Now I look for bullish patterns above VWAP and the 200 EMA, and bearish patterns below them. And then, of course, like Champ was saying, the market sentiment has to be there. I'm not going long if we're having a major red day unless everything's starting to curl and bottom, but that's usually late morning, and that's a different thing. But let's see. Volume's everything, and that's why I kind of stepped on Champ's toes there a little bit, but I didn't want him to get out of that screen when he was looking at the Apple chart, because volume was everything. If you just put like a piece of paper maybe over the chart he was looking at, volume just dictated everything he was saying above on the price action. You don't know which way, if it's up or down, but it's breaking up or down based on that volume. All right, so that was really cool to see. Okay, so here's the first and probably the easiest pattern. This is from my buddy Bueller. I pump Bueller all the time because he taught me everything I know, and so he's just a freaking rock star. He's not on Twitter a ton. He's like Instagram, Discord, but he is one of the goats. And so one of the easiest patterns here, 3-bar play. All right. It's just like, hey, how long was the war? When was the War of 1812? It was in 1812. Okay. 3-bar play is obviously 3 bars. It can develop into 4 and 5, and that becomes more of a flag. But a lot of times there's this ignite candle, up or down. Then you have the baby candle. Okay. And then you just have that breakout. And right when it breaks out above that, decisive candle in the middle, you just get in. Okay, so my buddy Tops, he made that LGVN chart, which does not have options. Okay, so I have actually one chart that does not have options. You can play commons here. And right when it starts to curl, you're like, is it curling or is it a fake out? Then we get that confirmation candle. Okay, and it's okay to miss that first move because if it's really curling and Momo's pouring in, you can just get the next 3-bar play. Okay, and flags fail when the 3-bar play goes down and it just invalidates that flag. So watch volume below, because as we saw on Champ's Apple chart, if that candle that is confirming does not have volume, I'm not playing it, because that confirmation candle will become a wick and you will get destroyed on the reversal, especially on lottos. Okay, so if the volume isn't doing where it says in volume indication, I'm not in. I will just watch other people make money and say, hey, I'm not doing that. I don't mind, missing out on that, because I have to have the volume to feel confident in it, or else I'm sweating. All right, so this is just a quick one that's very self-explanatory. I'm not looking at, divergences, MACD, or anything. I'm looking at price action, right? 5-minute. This works on any time frame. So the lower the time frame, the quicker you must take profits. The more out of the money your options are, the quicker you must take profits. If Champ was getting that Apple in the money call and Apple keeps running, he can just hold it all day. He can hold that until he's forced to sell it by Robinhood, or, if he has TOS, he could just sell it 5 minutes before end of day. But if you have something out of the money, you can't just ride it like that. I mean, maybe, but it's just not a high percentage play, right? It's only the ones that are like, wow, AMD really ran today. Good luck being in that ticker out of the thousands. Maybe it'll happen. Okay, so here we go. Ascending triangle. This is my favorite play because, as you can see on my iPhone there, that yellow pattern, I just draw it all the time. Take a screenshot and draw it. All right, and when you draw that pattern on your iPhone and just wait for 1 second, it makes the triangle automatically. Okay, so I don't like sit there drawing perfect triangles. It does that. So these broke out, and I have the thing on the right that says textbook reality. It does not always look perfect. There are fake breakouts, just like, again, Champ's Apple chart. That mini rectangle looked to be breaking out, and it came back and retested and created that rectangle that he highlighted in yellow. Okay, so people were definitely caught in that breakout. Maybe some people profited when it went up. They scaled out, but if people were trading that breakout, they just got destroyed on the retest, and that just happens. I do not have on that textbook versus reality graphic the volume, but based on what we've talked about here, we could already draw the volume, right? We know the volume went up when it broke out, and the volume went up when it came back in. Those long candles always match volume.
You probably have a U shape there off of the first fake breakout, like he showed before, and then the volume came down until you had the next breakout.
Exactly. I would be willing to bet that that's exactly what happened. And here's another thing. You should be able to flip charts completely upside down. I would love to see Champ maybe do that and say, hey, what is this upside down? And say, this was Apple upside down for the last week or something. Okay. There's something called a descending triangle, which is obviously the opposite. And those usually break down. You don't want to be in that. So, and if that fake breakout happens, it can fake break down and come right back in the triangle. It happens all the time with uptrend lines. It comes down, it wicks back into the pattern or channel, and you just keep riding it. So this was on the left side from Friday, I think. I don't remember, it could have been Thursday, but the price action was happening, and I sent this to Champ, and I was like, hey, it was at what, 20, maybe 18, and it just went up to 1125. And this is also the 5-minute chart. I'm not going to expect a 50-point move. So, and what is price action? It's just a display of people's buying and selling. That's all it is watching it. So on an ascending triangle, people are buying, and then they're not letting it go further. Like, let's say where it says textbook That's where I'm looking right now. So it goes up to, let's say, 1100, okay? Or let's call it 100. Then it comes down to, let's say, 80. Goes back up to 100. Down to 90. Back up to 100. Down to 95. Back up to 100. Down to 92. See that range dropping? And then once it gets to 100, people start buying 102 back to 100, and then it launches. So they're saying people are not buying at 100, and then eventually they are. So that's what's happening here. You're literally watching people's buying patterns. So here's another little flag. It's just called, this is a flag, pennant or bull flag, or there's flags or pennants, okay? They are not always perfect. As we see in the middle there, it's a little bit crooked. Someone just said, is there a place to view my screen? Can you guys see it?
Yeah, I see your screen. You have to go and click on it. If you're in the chat, go up
Okay.
to Keanu and then watch.
So we have some different patterns there. Let's look at the right-hand side. Like these are just screen grabs from my phone, but I'm watching that pennant turn into a falling wedge, okay? And if you have two shapes on top of another, it's even more confirming. So we have 112, 113, whatever that was, and then it bounced up. It's a little candle, but Tesla moves. So then we go $3, and that just kept going for the rest of the day, if I remember correctly. Okay, and then we have SPY in the middle doing the same thing. The bottom is holding, okay, and then the top busts out, and it could bust down, okay, if the volume dries out or whatever. Like, you have to wait for the breakout, and I just wait for the volume. Let's take a look here. Can you guys see my mouse moving? No.
No, I
Okay,
can't.
so I'm looking at the SPY chart in the middle, maybe about 9:30. Right when that yellow triangle busted out, take a look at the volume down below. The volume busted out with it, okay? So the volume confirmed the move, and it's going on up. And then it went to the top of that triangle. So you actually have a next move here, but anyway, the volume totally confirmed what happened there. And if we look at when this flag first started, there's no volume there, really. That's why it stayed in this range. So next one, and we'll be done here.
Before we go on, do you mind going back a slide?
Yeah.
So right there, if we were just trading at 9:30, I won't be able to see that candle close or that volume bar, or I won't be able to see that volume bar until the candle actually closes. So when do you
Right.
enter?
So I would enter on the retest here of that. If you look at how to trade the pennant pattern, do you see how it breaks out and then it retests against the triangle, whether up or down?
Yep.
It says bullish breakout, bullish breakdown. Okay, so if we look at the SPY pattern, it breaks out with volume. Now it's on our radar. Okay, we don't know what's going to happen, but we're watching for more volume, more confirmation. We have an indecisive, little bit of a, I'm not going to call it a hammer, but maybe a doji / hammer. And then we're like, is this going to retest down? Is it going to just be flat? And then the very next candle busts above it. And what does it look like?
Looks
A
cool.
mini 3-bar play right on top of that breakout.
I guess the other way of asking it, that I think will be more direct, is do you wait for the candle close to confirm the volume?
I do if it's close, because the candle body has to confirm over my triangle that I drew. If it's the wick, that is not confirming. So yeah, I am looking at, hey, this is a 5-minute candle. I don't want to trade a 5-minute candle at 10:06 because I have 4 minutes to go on that candle.
Cool,
Okay.
thanks.
Cool. All right, so this is this is from the right side of the page, that green triangle. So I brought that to the middle here because that pennant turned into a rising wedge. I'm sorry, a falling wedge, and it busted out. That's exactly what happened. Do I have it there? Yeah. So, and that's on the left side. That ascending triangle turned into that wedge. But on the right side here, I have the hourly chart. Zoom in. Yeah, hourly chart. So this Intel was falling day after day hourly, okay? daily as well, but it was easier to see in the hourly. And it was testing a previous resist level that turned support. And I didn't know if it was going to break down or what, but it was in a wedge and it just went right up. So right at open, I got calls because it was respecting that line. That wasn't a small time frame or a lotto, but I just wanted to show that this can work with other time frames. So